Hey, Dan here, and in this video I want to share some advice for managing an idealist personality type. That is an ENFP, INFP, INFJ, or ENFJ, and this applies whether or not you are also an idealist type. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and I am the author of way too many books, the creator of ENFP Unleashed and The Free Freelancer, and here at Dreams Around the World, my mission is to help you become the best version of yourself, all while creating the most awesome life possible for you and those you love. Now, when it comes to managing an idealist, I'm going to share from my perspective as an ENFP who is currently managing, let's say, an INFJ and has been working with other idealists throughout time and has also at some point, many years ago, I guess, been an employee as well. For the idealist type, there is no worse thing to hear from a boss than just do it, just get it done. I can remember going back to school, if a teacher says, "Why do you have to do it this way?" Because you have to. I don't speak German. I lived in Germany for over a year or so. And one of the reasons I just gave up on it and was like, I'm not going to invest any time in this is German has gender tenses. And if you're German and watching this and I get any of this wrong, please do correct me. But German has gender tenses, meaning you change some wording based on whether the word is female, male, or neutral. The thing is, German didn't have that until the 1800s, I think the 1800s, and it was added because the German royalty or aristocrats wanted to be fancy like the French, and they wanted to make it harder for less educated, poor people to be able to communicate, to learn language, to read and write, which would allow them to maintain more power. So you can imagine as an ENFP, none of this appeals to me. Doing something that's inauthentic to be more fancy like the French and to oppress people. Not appealing. And I was in this German class and I asked about the tenses, and I said, what if I just made every word neutral? Like, would it change anything? Could people understand me? Would there be any difference? And they're like, no. I'm like, so why do we need to learn this? Why doesn't, the language just have everything neutral? Because that's how it is. And I pretty much stopped studying German at that point. This is different than some other languages that have gender tenses, but it plays a bigger role and actually makes the language flow and helps you understand things better and all that. Anyhow, my point of sharing that long-winded story is that as an idealist, there needs to be a reason behind what we do, whether it is learning something or executing a task or a project. And something that I've been learning over the last, 6 months or so, working with Natasha, who is an INFJ, is about the importance of having that bigger picture, something that is exciting, that is interesting. I've noticed that, and sorry, Natasha, if you are not okay with me discussing this, but too bad, it's already being recorded here, is if I give a task that is very just like not pointless, but it's just a very admin thing, she'll be able to get it done. She's organized, she's disciplined, she'll get it done, but it is not something that is going to be enjoyable on her end or really bring out any of her positive work qualities. Where I've noticed if I give her something larger, a bigger project she can see the vision and think about and set goals on, she gets really excited and delivers great work. So it's not only just a matter though of what she will enjoy, it also comes down to the eventual output, right? If as an ENFP, if I'm working for you and you give me a project and you're like, you just have to do that. And if I can't quit the job because of family circumstances or I just need it or whatever, I'm going to get that work done, but it's going to take me a lot longer than someone else would, and I'm not going to enjoy it, and the end product is not going to be that good. Whereas if you give me something that excites me, it's aligned with my values, and I understand the big picture, then I'm going to deliver really good quality work, probably far exceed your expectations, and you'll be really happy and ultimately make more money or get better results or whatever your goal is as the manager from that work. So if you're managing an idealist, you want to think about this a lot, right? You want to be a little more sensitive to their needs, their desires, the type of work they enjoy doing, and also realize that they tend to be, or we tend to be, bigger picture people. We like to take on a whole project. We like to see the end of what we're working towards and have a purpose. So you're going to be a lot better having a team where you have someone who is more of a task manager, who loves just ticking off the boxes and getting things done and that kind of thing, to do that kind of work more. And when you're working with an idealist, to give them a bigger piece of the pie to deal with. Now, that does not mean idealists can't get the little things done. In fact, when I'm taking on a project, I'm all about the big picture, but I get into the weeds and the details. I build often my own web pages. I do the fine-tune editing on some of my written work. I like getting into those details when it's part of the bigger picture. And that's what's really important, is if you just give me some little thing to do, some little task or something, it's not going to be enjoyable. I'm going to procrastinate that, and it'll get done, but it won't be really that efficient. Whereas if the little tasks are part of something bigger, then they get done as well. And so you're going to be better off if you're managing an idealist, giving them a bigger part of the project, a bigger chunk, and letting them roll with it, including all the little details, but also some of the bigger picture stuff, a little more creative freedom. And again, that focus on the reason behind it. Just because you have to just do it does not tend to go very well. Now, if you are not an idealist type, one thing you might find hard to understand is our inability sometimes to just do it. For whatever reason, there are certain things we are asked to do or certain tasks we have to do, and we just get a big emotional block. And I know everyone procrastinates certain things and everyone has some struggles. But if you're someone like an ENTJ or an ISTJ, maybe an ESTJ, you're going to have trouble understanding what it actually feels like on our end to get just blocked by certain things. So you might say to us, hey, can you make these phone calls? I need you to argue with these suppliers, fire this person, have this difficult conversation. And that might be tough for anyone to do, but for perhaps you, it would be like a here level of tough. And for us, it would be like an up here level of tough. And so keep that in mind, that your experience of the world, of certain interactions, of certain responsibilities is going to be a lot different than ours. And something that for you might be really easy could be really difficult for us. So give us a little leeway, perhaps get some feedback about that from your idealist employee, or even look at maybe shifting some of those really difficult tasks for idealists away from the idealist. Similarly, things that might be quite hard for you, perhaps brainstorming creative solutions, perhaps certain type of people interactions, some really creative tasks, that can come really easy to us, where you might look at your idealist employee and say, wait, how do you just do that so easily? And the same way that's tough for you to do, keep in mind that some things that are really easy for you to do are really tough for us to do. Now, I know there's a lot more that could be added here, so if you have any experience with this topic, either as the manager or as someone working for or with an idealist, leave it below in the comments, and let's make this video a bit of a resource so that idealists, ENFPs, INFPs, all of us here on the channel, consider this video a resource you can share with people in your life to help them understand you better. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I publish new videos every week, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified on new videos, and catch you very soon in another video.